Peace. First and foremost, I wanted to thank all of you for reaching out, following my video, Defining White Supremacy. And I received a lot of emails and inboxes from those of you who wanted me to expand a little further on what we can do about it. And I wanted to take this time to address that subject matter more exclusively. I think the number one thing to keep in mind is that we are not an individual trying to save this world. And that approach is not only impractical and unreasonable, but it's very intangible and abstract. When you consider a phenomenon like global white supremacy and institutionalized racism, keep in mind that that mentality and function has infested every aspect of the society that we live in, not only here in America, but in any kind of colonialist societies that you see around the globe. And because of that infestation, it has created a multiplicity of problems that needs to be addressed on many different fronts. So there's no silver bullet to just say I'm going to be able to correct global white supremacy and institutionalized racism with this one approach. So to have a mentality that I am an individual trying to save this world, not only is that, like I said, impractical and unreasonable, but it also will be discouraging and depressing, because just like anything that we may have going on in our lives, sometimes you can have so many things going on at once, you just don't know where to actually start. And oftentimes that is one of the biggest challenges with people just being able to be an agent of change, because they have so many things going on. They see the multiplicity of problems. They don't know where to start at. Nothing gets done because they don't know where to start. So I think the best and the most healthiest and practical approach towards striving to address something like this is to look at yourself as a part of a collective who is invested in striving to bring about a new system of things. And being a part of a collective, each person has their own responsibility and role as a part of the whole to bring about that new system of things. And everyone starts at the place where they can start. And that place where someone starts at may be different from where someone else is. You may have someone that needs to be a lot more informed about what global white supremacy and institutionalized racism is. And them acquiring more of that knowledge gives them the proper foundation to make wiser decisions in their everyday life, so they can see things for what they are, not what they appear to be. That may be where that person is. Someone else may have a functional knowledge of global white supremacy and institutionalized racism, but they need to invest and demonstrate a little bit more integrity in terms of the relationships that they have with others in their own family, as well as maybe making a stand against policies and procedures in their workplace that is obviously discriminatory. That may be where this person is. Someone else may be in a position in a school where they may be interested in joining an organization that advocates freedom, justice, and equality for all the human families of the planet Earth. That takes on the task of addressing school policy or being involved in community initiatives that helps bring about effective change. That may be where this person is, but everyone needs to start where they are, and everyone has a role as a part of a collective who is invested in bringing about a new system of things. Another thing that I wanted to mention is, I mentioned it at the end of my video before, money talks and bullshit walks. So in learning more about what you can do to change the status quo, you're going to be required to invest in the things that you consider yourself an advocate of now, which means you're going to have to put money where your mouth is. It's not going to be enough to just sit and have community discussions around the issues of racism. That's fine, but are you literally invested in that discussion? Are you putting money into this, or are you investing sweat equity in this, or doing things like that? Because that's really going to be the defining factor of whether or not you are truly invested in being a part of that body of people who are striving to bring about a new system of things. So you have to be able to invest in it, not only with your sweat equity and with your mouth, but you're going to have to invest in it in your money too. And another thing is, it doesn't happen overnight, because we're talking about not only just changing the status quo, we are also talking about transforming the culture that has upheld that status quo since this country has been founded, and in any kind of colonialist societies you see around the globe, and that does not happen overnight. That society is maintained by people who live that culture. And because it has infested every aspect of the society, it is a process that we're dealing with. It's a mentality that is expressed through our way of life, and it doesn't happen overnight. The more you learn, the better decisions you can make, the more you can see. That begins to set the foundation for a way of life that reflects a system that is invested in freedom, justice, and equality for all the human families of the planet Earth. So each day, you're required to make decisions in the best interest of the human families of the planet Earth, freedom, justice, and equality. Those days become weeks, those weeks become months, those months become years, and after a while, you begin to walk and talk what it is you say that you know and that you are invested in. So be patient with yourself as well as other people who say that this is something that they want for all the human families of the planet Earth. And again, I will, this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educating for those of you who wanted to get a little bit more clarity on what you can actually do about it. Number one, you're not an individual trying to save the world. You are a person that is a part of a collective who is invested in their own responsibility to do what they can to bring about a new system of things, and you are starting where you are. Number two, start where you are. If you need to learn more, start learning more so you can become wiser, so that you can see things for what they are, not what they appear to be, and that sets the premise of a new way of life. And number three, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to be truly invested in this change, because if you are not, then who? Peace.